with me, your man, Louie T. Welcome to your one-stop shop for all things Nash Football League, including the 2019 NFL postseason. We've knocked down 3 of the 4 wildcard matchups. Let's take a look at the final game in wildcard weekend, which may be the most compelling of them all. I'm talking about the 6-seeded Philadelphia Eagles. Hold on, let me rephrase that. The Super Bowl defending champion 6-seeded Philadelphia Eagles, who just snuck in the back door of the postseason as the 6th seed, looking to defend their crown, taking on the Bears, the 3rd-seeded Chicago Bears, winners of the NFC North Division. And so this is a compelling matchup for a couple of reasons. One, the Eagles have that whole Nick Foles magic thing going again, and it just seems like destiny again. And then you have what amounts to either the 2nd best or 3rd best defense in all of football right now. Arguably the 2nd best defense. I think the Cowboys are right there with them. If you ask me, it's 2A, 2B in terms of it's the Ravens 1 and then Cowboys, Bears, you take your pick. Whatever the case may be, this is a ferocious defense in Chicago. And honestly speaking, I think it's a bad matchup for the Philadelphia Eagles. But then again, I was the guy that thought they would lose against the Rams, and that was with or without Wentz. And I was the guy that thought they had no chance against the Texans as well. They were going to lose at least one of those games. They won both of those games. And I was the guy that counted them out last year against the Falcons, counted them out last year against the Vikings, and counted them out again in the Super Bowl. So who the hell am I to say that this team can't get it done and this is a bad matchup? But I'm telling you, of all the teams that they could have played in the first round, this was the one that they probably didn't want to face. That being said, let's talk about the keys to victory for not only these Eagles, but the home Bears in this football game. We start with the roadies in the Philadelphia Eagles, and we look at the first key to victory. Old St. Nick. They believe in Nick Foles, do these Philadelphia Eagles. Not just the fan base, not just the head coach and the coaching staff, but these players believe in Nick Foles, okay? They feel like he gives them a legitimate shot to win. And not to say that Wentz doesn't, but there's a different aura around Nicholas Foles. They feel like number 9 has what it takes to get them a W every single time he steps on the field. They believe in what he brings to the table, and they think with him under center, they can't be stopped and that they're a team of destiny. They feel like they're on par to do it again. And Nick Foles has been playing his part, delivering a Christmas miracle for the Philadelphia Eagles. They were left for dead and out of the playoff race just a mere 3 weeks ago after an overtime loss to the Cowboys. They seemed destined to not even make the postseason and have a chance to defend their crown. But 3 wins later, they're back in the postseason. They're back with an opportunity to defend. And the biggest reason why? Nick Foles. Nicholas has done it again. He did it again. Late season magic last year, and it spilled over into the postseason. Late season magic again this year. Will it spill over into the postseason? I don't know. He's dealing with some injuries. He got banged up in the Rams game, or excuse me, the Texans game. Took a hellacious shot late versus the Texans delivered by Jadeveon Clowney. Took another shot versus the Redskins. Had to lead the game after completing 25 consecutive passes. We'll see what he's going to be able to do, but it sounds like he's going to be just fine. And this team goes as he takes them. Good old St. Nick. Can he deliver again? We will see. If he does, the Eagles not only have a shot to upset these Bears, but then go on the road and maybe exact a little measure of revenge on the road against the Saints. That was an ass thrashing of epic proportions, but that's another story for another day. First, you got to get past the Bears, and you won't do that unless St. Nick has more magic in his bag. You go to the next key. Protect up front. Both sides. You got to start on the offensive side. I just told you Nicholas Foles is dealing with a little bit of some bruised ribs, if you will, some chest injuries, something along that front cavity is bothering him. Whether it's his chest, his ribs, he's not 100%. So you've got to protect him. He needs to feel comfortable in the pocket. This is a very aggressive Bears front that can get after the quarterback. You know about Midway Mac. It's Mac, young Scrappy. Yes, he is the OG gangster. Yes, he is. All right? He is a difference maker. So is Akeem Hicks. All right? So is Gumby. They got a lot of guys that can get to the quarterback. For those of you who don't know, Gumby is Leonard Floyd. They've got a bunch of guys that could hurt you. Got to protect up front. All right? But not only on the offensive side, but on the defensive side, I'm putting the onus on that defensive line. You've got to protect that back end. You got to protect up front. Because if you don't get to the quarterback, if you don't get to Mitchell Trubisky, you don't stop the run. And I'm pretty sure you're going to stop the run. I don't have any doubts that you're going to slow down Jordan Howard and make other guys beat you. But if you don't get to Mitchell Trubisky and he's able to run, razzle-matazz on 3rd and 7 and pick up 8 or 9, if he's able to sit comfortably in the pocket and find Allen Robinson, that secondary is trash. Straight garbage can juice. It's ass cheeks, and you know it. A lot of injuries, a lot of young guys. You don't want any parts of guys having time to sit in the pocket and dissect your secondary. Hence, you need to protect up front. Your front 4, 5, 6, however many guys you want to include in your front have to get it done. Chris Long has to get it done. Fletcher Cox has to get it done. Michael Bennett, who has been on a tear of late. So is Cox. They got to get it done. All right? Brandon Graham, everyone, all hands on deck. You need it. You need it in a major way if you're going to come out of Soldier Field with an upset victory. Key number 3, never, ever trust a man with 2 first names. Alshon Jeffrey is going back to the scene of the crime. He was drafted by the Bears. He wasn't re-signed by the Bears. He feels disrespected by the Bears. And ever since Nicholas Foles has reinserted himself into this lineup, Alshon Jeffrey has been a man possessed. It was the Zach Ertz show with Wentz in the lineup. Now everyone's getting a chance, and no one has benefited more than Alshon Jeffrey. The Bears are an aggressive defense, and they take the football away in the secondary. They play a lot of sticky coverage, and Kyle Fuller has been playing out of his brains this season. Alshon Jeffrey is a guy that can cool his ass off. Throw it up, allow Jeffrey to go and get it. There are other targets like Aguilar, like Ertz, that can also help this offense. But Alshon Jeffrey has been the go-to guy for Nicholas Foles. That needs to continue in this game if you're going to have a chance to win on the road versus the Bears. Key number 4. Trubisky. You've got to prove that Mitchell Trubisky is untrue. He's not telling the truth. He's not really as good as everyone says he is. I'm not telling you that I feel that way. I'm just telling you, you've got to prove that he's not ready for this spotlight. He's not ready for this stage. Second-year quarterback, first career postseason start. He's not ready for this type of spotlight. He's not ready for the show. You've got to prove that he's untrue Trubisky, not Mitchell Trubisky. Mama named him Mitchell. I'm going to call him Mitchell. You've got to prove he's untrue Trubisky. You got to get after Mitchell Trubisky, make him uncomfortable. And on 3rd and 6, you can't allow him to scramble for 8. He wants to use his legs. If he doesn't like what he sees on his first and second read, he's not afraid to tuck it and run and go much faster than slow. You've got to make sure that he doesn't break your back on 3rd and 6 with the 8-yard scramble. He'll do it, and he's not afraid to get down at the end of that run. Got to get to Mitchell Trubisky. Got to make him uncomfortable. He will share. He's shown us he will share. Hence, example, Rams game. All right, they won that football game. He was awful. He will share. but he will also break your back. Not only with his legs, but with his arm. He can throw the football. Ask the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He put up 40 on their skulls. Got to get to Mitchell Trubisky and prove that he is untrue. Bisky. Next key, final key. Hey, Doug. Be you, bruh. I used to think that Doug Pederson was too aggressive. That he was out of his mind. Going for 2 at random times. Going for it on 4th down. Too much. In that first season, he went for it on 4th down, it seemed like every time, and they didn't convert, and they ended up, after starting the season off 3-1, like 6-10, 7-9. And then I looked at Doug Pederson, and I said, you are trash. And then he turned it around last year. And he turned it around doing the same shit he did in his first year. Going for it on 4th down, going for 2 when he doesn't need to. It's who he is. And they win doing what he does best. Being who he is, being aggressive, rolling the dice, whether it comes up nice or snake eyes, he's looking to break guys. So what I'm saying to you is, Doug, be you, bruh. Scared money don't make money. If you're going to go in the Soldier Field and win, you're going to have to do it aggressively. The meek will not prosper in this one. All right? You want to win? You got to have big cojones, huh? You got to go in there and tell those boys we're not afraid to roll the dice. Kiss it, roll it, hopes it comes up nice. Be you. You're an aggressive coach. You do the unconventional. It's becoming the conventional, but you do the unconventional. You go for 2 when it may hurt you if you don't get it. You go for it on 4th down when you probably should punt. It's what you do. And if you're going to beat the Bears, it's what you need to do in this game. All right, so you go from the Eagles to the Bears. The Bears and their keys to victory. You start with the monsters of the Midway. Look, this defense is lights out. And the Eagles have been playing fantastic offense. They lit up the Redskins. They destroyed the Texans, and that was supposed to be one of the better defenses in football. Well, they put 32 on their heads. Nicholas Foles threw for over 450 yards, had a field day. Darren Sproles turned back the clock. Look, all of that shit has to cease in this game, and I'm going to tell you something right now. They can't run the football, which takes me to my next point. No Folesing around, man. All right, no Folesing around. Don't let Nicholas Foles hurt you in this game. They believe in this guy. As I mentioned when I talked about Foles on the Eagles side of things, they believe in Foles. They think they can do no wrong with him at quarterback. They feel like a team of destiny once again. You know how you could put that down very quickly? Hit Foles early and often. Foles has turned the football over at least once in every single one of his starts this season. Translation, he's still Nicholas Foles, goddammit. He's still going to throw it to the wrong color jersey at least once. And this defense has been among the best in the league at creating turnover opportunities. And they generally don't miss when those opportunities come their way. Whether it's Eddie Jackson or it's Kyle Fuller, they're making the opposition pay for mistakes. Make them pay for mistakes. No Folesing around. They're not going to run the football. All right, I'm going to tell you right now, their run game is NOB. It's DOB. Dead off the bus. They can't run the football against you. All right? Wendell Smallwood and company, they're not running the rock. So you don't have to worry about that. What you have to worry about is Nicholas Foles, RPOs, and them trying to push the football down the field. Them trying to dump it down to Darren Sproles out of the backfield. Shut that shit down. Turn the faucet off. Win the football game on defense like you did last week versus the Vikings, like you did the week before versus the 49ers, like you did the week prior to that versus the Rams. Next, Coco Gadget Cohen. Look, you're not running the football with Jordan Howard. I'm just telling you right now. He's going to get shut down. Eagles aren't having it. All right, they're one of the best run defenses in football. He's not running the football in between the tackles. But what you can do is you can stretch these boys and you can get the rock to Tarik Cohen, whether it's via the run, out of the backfield, via the pass, up the sideline on a wheel route. I don't give a shit. All right, Coco Gadget Cohen, he's got to touch it. The best game I saw this guy play was a loss against the Giants. He was fantastic in that game. And man, did Matt Nagy pull out all the stops, including a double pass, a pitch to Cohen, then a throw from Cohen to tie the game up and send it to overtime. You need Tarik Cohen to stand up and be a major difference maker in this game. Take some of the pressure off of Mitchell Trubisky. The best way to do that, have Tarik Cohen be a huge part of the game plan. The Eagles do not have an answer for number 29. They don't. I'm telling you right now, none of their backers can run with him. They don't want to put a safety on him. He is a mismatch nightmare. Take full advantage. Next key to victory for these Bears. Don't Mitch up now. You either, Matt. So essentially what I'm saying is, hey, Mitchell, don't bitch up on me in the most important game of your career to this point. All right? Just like the Rams last year with Jared Goff, second-year quarterback with a first-year head coach, took the league by storm. Everyone was so blown away by the progress made by a first-year head coach and a second-year quarterback. They won their division. They get a home playoff game. They're the 3 seed. The 6 seed comes in as the team that represented the NFC in the Super Bowl and knocks them off. Does this sound familiar to you? What I just explained to you is what exactly happened to the Rams. Second-year quarterback in Jared Goff, first-year head coach taking the league by storm in Sean McVay. They win their division out of nowhere, host a playoff game as the 3 seed. They play the team that represented the NFC in the Super Bowl and the Atlanta Falcons, and they lose at home. Don't be that team, all right? Be prepared. The Eagles are battle-tested. They're not afraid to come into Chicago and win. They are very confident because they've been here before. They were the underdogs last year. Hell, they were the underdogs this year. They weren't supposed to go into L.A. and win. They weren't supposed to defend the home turf versus the Texans, but they did. They did it last year. They've done it this year. And with Nicholas Foles, they're ultra confident. You've got a second-year quarterback, has never made a postseason start. You've got a first-year head coach that's taken the league by storm. You won your division out of nowhere. You're a 3 seed, and you're hosting the team that represented the NFC in the Super Bowl last year. Don't Mitch up now. You either, Matt. I need your best from you, Mitchell. I need the best you got, Matt. This is not the time for you guys to fold up the tent. Gotta have your best. And finally, you say butter, I say parquet, as in Cody Parkey. Look, just like I said with the Chargers and Michael Badgley, I don't trust Cody Parkey. You know how I feel about numero uno. All right? Cost you a game versus the Dolphins. I don't have the confidence that you may have in Cody Parkey. Cost you a game earlier in the season. Well, he didn't cost you a game. He didn't lose the game, but he missed like 4 field goals, hit the uprights 4 times in a game. He's got that in him. I don't know if it's going to come out or not. All I'm saying, I'm going to give you the same advice I gave the Chargers. Don't allow this game to come down to a Cody Parkey field goal late. All right? Don't do it. Wouldn't be prudent. Don't do it. Don't have the score be 16-15 late and you need a field goal to win 18-15. Don't do it. Because if you do, you're probably going to lose. Now, the closer you get, the better it is. The further away, hey, come on, that makes sense, right? I'm just telling you, Cody isn't shy to miss from 33, just like he's not shy from missing from 53. And anything in between. You say butter, I say parquet. Don't let Cody Parkey be the reason that you go home in Wild Card Weekend. And so, those are my keys to victory. Here's my prediction. The Eagles feel like a team of destiny, and I told everyone 2 weeks ago, don't let these bastards in the postseason. You might regret it. I said all of that to say this. This is a bad matchup for the Philadelphia Eagles. This Bears defense is legit. Nicholas Foles is dealing with some kind of ailment. They're not going to make it any better. You can't run the football on these boys. They're going to come after Foles. They're going to hit him early. They're going to hit him often. He's going to turn it over at least once, possibly multiple times. The Bears may not do a ton on offense themselves, but they're going to hold up their end of the bargain defensively as they've done over the last month or so of the season. I expect them to get the job done, take care of business, and protect home. I've got the Bears winning this football game 20-10 over the Philadelphia Eagles. And I know that's a very low number for an Eagles team that has been scoring a ton of points, but they haven't seen a defense quite like the one they're going to see in this football game against these Bears. So that's going to do it for me, your man, Louie T. That's my prediction for this game. What's yours? Leave it in the description below. I'd love to hear from you as to who you think is going to win this game. And I'd love a score if you got that in you as well. Remember, you know where you can find me at the conclusion of this game, as I will break it down on the NFC Wildcard Overtime show. So join me at the conclusion of Eagles Bears. I will be there breaking down the game, giving you my reaction, and taking your comments. So make sure you join me after the game has met its conclusion. I'm your man, Louie T. Remember, if it's not your man T, it's not the best NFL coverage it could be. Come back and join me. Like the video, share it, and if you haven't done so already, what are you waiting on? Subscribe to the Louie T Network. Check out the podcast, Louie T Network Podcast. That's going to be dropping out soon. Talking about Black Monday. It was a dark and ugly Monday, as it usually is. I'll break it all down and talk about that and then some on the pod, so check that out as well. I'm your man, Louie T. See you at the conclusion of Eagles Bears. See you then. Have a good one.